Everyone, just want to say hello. How are you? It's Wednesday. Can't believe the week's flying by. Absolutely flying by. Bit of a busy day yesterday. Full clients. Full clients again today. 7 tomorrow. I think I need to work on that diary management. Today's video is about a subject quite close to my heart. Something that I suffer from. Something that I come into contact not daily, but quite regularly with. And it's a thing called PTSD. Post-traumatic stress syndrome, and I've written an article which will be published shortly, but I just want to do sort of an audio-video reference point to it as well. Again, it's a case of if this just one person listens to this, thinks to themselves, you know what, actually that could be me, it might help, and you don't have to contact me, go to someone that you know. I'm not interested in fame, glory, being a good guy. If I can help someone, I will do. But if it just prompts someone to go and see someone, which happened in my life very recently, a chain of events prompted me to go see someone, and yeah, I'm in a much better place now because of it. So, with regards to the actual article, I suffered terribly from insomnia, so I took the sleeping tablets last night. Sadly, my sleeping tablets had the opposite effect on me, and I actually ended up wide awake. So, if you bear with me on this, it's not a short article, but I'll try to surmise it as best I can. But it's titled PTSD. Is it really that rare? Take a look around in your gym. So, as I say, I wrote this article not only as a sufferer of PTSD, but as a personal trainer. So, I regularly deal with clients that suffer from PTSD. So, I can offer value on both sides of the coin, insight from both sides of the fence, so to speak. Okay. My question to you guys is: you ever talk to guys and girls in the gym and thought to yourself, how have they survived everything that they talked about? Generally, when you speak to people in the gym and the regular gym guys, you'll find that they have had troublesome lives. Been through traumatic events in their life, but yet they train habitually. And the gym is a salvation point for those that suffer from PTSD or have had these traumatic events in their life. This is a point that we'll come back to later on, so please remember that, okay, that the guys who have been through trauma tend to stay in the gym, okay. So a little bit about PTSD. PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, was actually first recorded back in 1900 BCE by an Egyptian physician who described a hysterical reaction to trauma. So it's been noted for thousands upon thousands of years. The actual term PTSD wasn't coined until the 1980s after the Vietnam War, and it became the sort of go-to reference name for the condition. PTSD is essentially a memory-filling error caused by a traumatic event or events in one person's life. What that trauma may be will be variable person to person. And it is worth noting that the vast majority of people that experience trauma in their life don't actually go on to develop PTSD. I know we live in an excuse culture and society and woe is me and all of this, but the vast majority, as a matter of fact, do not go on to suffer from any form of PTSD. However, approximately in the world, 20% of people do suffer from PTSD. So that leaves 80% that don't, okay? But if you imagine 20% of the world's population works out something like 1.4 billion based on a 7 billion person general populace even, okay? However, alarmingly, 80% of those 20% that suffer never get any sort of formal diagnosis and therefore treatment for it. So if you do the maths, 80% of that 20% of the world's general populace works out at just over 1.1 billion people that suffer from PTSD that never actually go on to have any form of formal treatment. Now, as PTSD is becoming more and more, and I hate to use the word mainstream, but it is becoming more and more in the general eyes, into the general mainstream, and people are aware of it, and it's not such this hush-hush around it. More and more people are getting treatment for it, which is fantastic, which is an amazing thing. There are two more main forms of treatment for PTSD other than medication. I'm not a big fan of medication. mainly because of my past. But also medication, all it does is it masks the chemicals. It uses chemicals to mask the root cause. So there are two main forms of treatment for PTSD, which is cognitive behavioural therapy and EMDR. EMDR stands for eye movement desensitization reprocessing. Okay, both have their merits. Both have their means of working. I won't get into the crux of things, but I personally, at the minute, go through cognitive behavioural therapy, changing thought processes, things like that. Taking a step back out of a situation, looking at it more objectively, opposed to flying into it like I have done in the past. Symptoms of PTSD can and do manifest in many ways. Most common being, and bear with me on this list here, okay, hypervigilance or hypersensitivity, being too aware of your surroundings, second guessing, seeing what's going on around you, always looking over your shoulder, okay, intense flashbacks, self-explanatory. Anxiety. Now, the anxiety is something that people assume is just panic attacks, things like that. But anxiety can manifest in many ways, from panic attacks, to anger, right through to depressive moods and bouts thereof. Difficulty sleeping or staying asleep, anger or aggressive behaviour even. Narcissism and ego. Again, please note that one for later on, because we are going to do a bit of full circle on this. So, people in the gym, narcissism and ego. Avoidance of people or situations that link back to the traumas, because there will be triggers. Triggers that will then cause flashbacks, etc. Withdrawal into oneself. People become very introvert, become very quiet. Feeling suicidal, feeling distrustful and suspicious of others, and that may be loved ones or just random people that they meet. Substance abuse, I've been there. Exhaustion, constant lethargy again. Fear of being alone or in crowds. I know it's one or the other. People go, oh, it's one or the other. But you can fear of both. You know, I really disliked an nth degree being in crowds, and I do dislike being on my own as well. So there is a happy medium somewhere for people. But I say I could go on with regards to symptoms, because there are dozens and dozens and dozens. So I tried to surmise for you the main ones. Okay, but each person does have their own form. And they do manifest in their own ways. No one person will react to the same trauma as someone else. As with anything, there's no one size fits all with everyone. Okay, one big alignment you will see with PTSD is that a lot of people also suffer from OCD, and for people who don't know what OCD is, obsessive compulsive disorder, together with their PTSD. Now, if we go back to the start of what I said in the article, where I said about everyone or a large portion of people that train regularly having bad life stories, etc. They're in the gym religiously training every day. Why? Why do you think that is? Because one of the main symptoms of PTSD, which I didn't list above on the article, is that you have a complete and utter loss of self-control in oneself, or feeling of. What does the gym offer someone? The gym offers someone control. It offers them control not over just their physical output and physicality, but routine also. People that suffer from PTSD feel completely in this spiral of being out of control, being worthless, being helpless. When in reality, we know they're not, but it's the feeling that they have. It's how it manifests. Okay. Then you have the nutritional side of things as well. Again, it comes back to them as an individual being in control. Something which most sufferers that I deal with as a PT haven't had for years and years. So you put that into their life, and I'm talking now as a PT to other PTs. If we can implement that regimen of control and make them feel that they're in control of their own life, their own existence, and it's a massive step change for them. Also, now we go back to the point with regards to narcissism and ego being two key symptoms of PTSD. Look around any gym in the world, and I do mean in the world now, not just in the UK where I'm based. And what do you see? You see egos, you see narcissism in full effect. May sound harsh, but it's true. I'm not saying everyone that goes to the gym is a PTSD sufferer, but you will find that a lot of PTSD sufferers, and obviously people in the gym that suffer from PTSD, they are narcissistic, they are egotistical about their bodies. That's just what it is, okay? This is why, in my opinion, the gym of fitness appeals to and offers such support to people that suffer from PTSD. It allows them to take control, as I say, of their lives once again, and implement routine and order that they have either never had or haven't had for a long period of time in their life. My best clients, and this is the truth, are the ones that have suffered pain, because at the end of pain comes success. That isn't just a metaphor for life, but in the gym. When you train and you push their bodies or your body to the absolute limits, what happens? You get success. Pain is and always will be temporary. What replaces it, as I said in one of my early videos, is down to the character of the person who suffers it. And us as PTs, again, we're now talking to other PTs watching this, it is our job to not just physically improve someone's health, but to improve their health mentally as well, which will happen as a byproduct of training and eating well. And for those of you that haven't read about the nature versus nurture argument, please do so. Okay, it's not an argument; it's actual base of science. Nature versus nurture. Being able to identify someone and relate to them, whether you're a sufferer or not, is crucial. And then again, I'm talking now on a PT to PT sort of level. And it is so commonplace in today's society. As the world grows, people are subjected more and more to traumatic events. You only have to switch on the news every day to see. Switch on the news this morning. There's been a terror attack in Pakistan, I believe, or Asian country. Again, ISIL, ISIS. You know, people do take these things to heart. It might not affect you and I on a day-to-day life, but there are people out there with relatives or friends or family or just have a degree of empathy, and it affects them because of the forms of media that are available. It hurts people seeing these things. So people get trauma in their lives forced down their throat by the media. It's the media's job to report. Whether we choose to watch, that's up to us. Okay. So where was I? So, as I say, the stats with regards to PTSD and the growth of it is alarming. And when I say the growth of it, I mean the amount of people which are now. When I say they're alarming, I don't necessarily mean alarming in a negative way. They're alarming in such a way that the truth of how many people actually suffer from this is going up and up and up and up. Okay, so now again, as a PT to a PT, next time you have a client who's a little reserved or withdrawn, or someone who has an ego about themselves, and you think to yourself, and I've done it, we've all done it as PTs. Why the fuck are you acting like this? What's up with you? Buck your ideas up. Have a little think. You might understand now, and I do. I have this certain degree of empathy about me. Certainly not to judge a book by its cover, because people will look at me and assume I'm a big guy. You know, I'm 100 kilos and 6 foot tall. People will look at me and have this perception. I've got tattoos. You know, I've got a very deep voice. I've got a big structure to me. People assume things about me. But that's just human nature. But sometimes, you know, without understanding someone's true story, their background, and us as PTs, yes, we're there to train them physically, but with physical health comes mental health, okay? So we need to understand someone's story to really get to the full optimum level of training with them, okay? I know the gym saved me, and as I said, it has. You know, it saved me at times when I could have gone and done other things, and I haven't. I've gone to the gym. And as I say, with regards to the old boys and girls that train who have had such horror stories that sometimes they make you cringe or cry, they're okay, aren't they? You know, what does that tell you about gym and exercise? You know, there is no better form of medicine, in my opinion, in the world, unless, of course, you have a physical impediment or heart issues or something that restricts you actually from the gym. There is no better form of medicine in this world than going to the gym. There isn't. You leave all those negative thoughts and emotions, leave them where they should be, in a puddle of sweat on the mats on the gym floor. Don't take them home with you. Go to the gym after work. Go to the gym at the weekend. When you're feeling upset, when you're feeling angry, go to the gym. Go for a run. Do a load of press-ups. Do a load of crunches. You know, the chemical releases in your brain when you push yourself. It's the best form of medicine. It's free. It's easy to do. You don't have to have a gym membership, whether it be a local pure gym for $12.99 or whether it be a David Lloyd £100 a month. You don't have to pay that. You can just go out for a run. You can go out for a walk. You can get down, do some press ups, do some star jumps at home, do some burpees, whatever. You know, the best form of medicine is exercise, right? As I said to anyone that is watching this, I'm more than happy to speak to anyone. I'm not expecting anyone to comment. But if one person watching this suddenly goes, oh, hold on a second, light bulb, that could be me. I had some trauma in my life. The things that Mike said, they relate to me. I would ask you just to go see someone someone impartial. There's plenty of counsellors around. They're relatively cheap. 30, 40, 50 quid an hour for a CBT therapist, a registered one. Just Google counsellors directory if you're in the UK, and again, I'll assume there's other registers of counsellors elsewhere in the world, because no doubt there'll be other people in the world that will watch this. I just ask that you go and see someone. Might be nothing, it might be something. But if it's something and it can help, then it's worthwhile doing, don't you think? So, guys, thank you very much for listening. It's a very personal subject to me. Obviously, I read this to you, speak this, and say this to you not just as a sufferer, but as a PT who comes into contact with people that suffer from PTSD, traumatic events in their life. So, as always, contact details are below. Busy day today, have a client in an hour and 20 minutes, and then back in for 3 later on this evening. And then I have, 7, silly diary management by Mike. Well done, Mike. Pat myself on the back. 7 clients tomorrow. So, guys, thank you very much as always for watching. Any questions about anything, doesn't matter what it is, please contact me. Details below. Thank you very much. Speak to you later. Bye.